Good afternoon, everyone. This is Lisa Ware, Senior Group Leader, following on from a whole array of stuff about getting going, new partners, get them fast, helping us get going faster, doing the right things. I think there's a lot of stuff you're going to hear today. You're going to go, I've heard that before, but what I do know is people don't do. They they don't follow what works. They hear it and then they still go off and do their own thing, and that's why they're not getting business. In a nutshell, if you aren't actually getting any business, it's because you're not. You've got to say to yourself, what is it? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, day in, day out, and expect a different result. Yeah. So if we want to improve, we've got to be mindful that we've got to do things perhaps the way that is the proven successful track. All right, so today is all about the dreaded big one, the calling, the calling, the calling, the calling. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen because I'm doing this from a perspective that you've got a brand new partner. You can twist this and you can make it for yourself as well. But I see people start and they don't start right. We've done all the stuff about, what kind of person should we be attracting? Should we be asking? And now this is about the nitty gritties of how to get them up and going. So, assuming you've interviewed them, have you done those 21 questions that I've given out in previous? It's a few weeks back now. 21 interview questions to ensure that you've probably got somebody that's actually right for this. Are you aware that there are some people that can't do this? Definitely. All right. It isn't for everyone. It's not. Okay. So we want to try and attract the right people. Now, when people start, let's just be candid. You could take a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. You can show them everything that they should do. And if they choose not to follow it, that really isn't our fault, is it? Yeah. Do you think we need to blame ourselves if they don't follow the proven track record? So here's the little thing that I say, and you've heard me say it before. When you were learning to drive, and on that first lesson, the driving instructor got you sat straight away in the driving seat, which I remember my first one. I remember thinking, ooh, I don't know how to drive. And I said that to him, and he said, yes, but I'm going to teach you. Never once did I question what he taught me, that this was going to be a proven method that would allow me to get my driving certificate to pass my test. In those days, it used to be about £30 a lesson. I think it's more than double. I think it's nearer 60 to 80 now. Very expensive. If you use this analogy with a new person and say, look, please, please don't divert. Don't try and reinvent the wheel. Follow what we're going to go through to the letter, and I promise you success. All right. That's all you can do. If they choose to ignore, decent instructions, that's not our fault. We can't beat ourselves up over it. So let's share my screen. And you will notice it is our partner portal, and yours will look fairly similar too. Okay. So we're going to go to learning and training. And we're going to go to the fast start plan. Okay, let's go. And what you're going to do is skip and skip and skip, because we've done this stuff. And now we're on this. Okay, I'm going to make this really large. And I'd like to ask you, could somebody like Fran, who I can see in my little boxes, Fran, can you clearly see the writing there? Thank you. Good. Right. This is a script that is got together by the why. Now, each and every person that you interview, if you interview them properly, you will find out their why, their reasons for doing this. If they do not have strong enough reasons, they will not do anything, I promise you. And even then, some people do have strong reasons, but they're battling with themselves to actually do something to change. Because when you're about to change your life, because you know that carrying on the same course is not going to get you where you wish to be, it's uncomfortable. It's jumping out of the comfort zone into the adventure zone. That's what it's doing. And some people just find this all too much. And then some people actually do really believe they are so up their derrieres. Sorry, I'm going to say it the way it is. They are so up their derrieres that they actually think they can do it all much better, even though they've never done this before. Yeah. They know more than you and I. Listen, if you get those kind of people, you're on a hiding to nothing. Okay, you really are. So, this is a case scenario where a friend of mine, Danielle Bennett, who's an SGL, living the dream, as they say, now out permanently in Spain. And this is all about her. Now, if anyone knows, Danielle has always been a teacher, and for a long time she was a single parent with her little boy. Okay, quite tough, I think the words are quite tough. And she was introduced to this and realized it could be something that would really make the difference. I'm just going to stop the share a minute. I want to ask you all that's here. Put your hands up. Who sat in on the big night in on Sunday night? Okay. If you haven't watched it, I would say shame on you. I won't. I'm sending out the replay. Watch it. It is quite amazing. Quite amazing. Um, Lots of people have excuses, and some people find that the excuses actually become the reasons. That's the simpler way I'm going to put it. Really good. Very, very good. Right, let's go back to where we were. I just wanted to see, because I know I keep looking for team when I'm on it. And it's I know it interrupts Sunday evening, but it is that it was a really good one. It was amazing. Right, let's go back to where we were. Okay, so here we are. Now, Danielle says, and this was in the, if you've been on the Fast Start plan, you know that this is the beginning of it. So she says, "Hi, Sarah. I hope you and the family are well. Looks like you had a great time in Spain. Can I just say, this was not a text message that was sent out to about 50 people. She picked up the damn phone. All right. Now, why would you pick up the phone? I'm going to go into the reasons why. I've got loads here. First of all, it's immediate. It is what we call proper two-way communication. You've heard me say this before. If you send a WhatsApp, an email, a text, or anything else, it's like posting an event. People don't necessarily have to respond, do they? And they may never, ever respond. They might do, but they may never. They might just park it to one side. Okay. So it's got to be that we're doing this fast, and it's got to be a phone call. Why? Because people hear our passion. They hear the intonation in your voice. Do you know that excitement, by the way, not lunatic. I'm on about nice excitement, but that excitement will do more than ever the words that come out of our mouths. Okay, that's a fact. Shall I tell you why? Because we are emotional beings and we all respond to emotion, not to logic. Are you aware of that? If we all had logic, every one of us would be up at 5 a.m., pumping the iron, going out for a run, eating all the right things, never giving in to Waitrose Colombian coffee ice cream and all that stuff. But we're not logical. We don't respond to logic. We respond to feelings, emotions. And what makes us feel good will actually get us to react. All right. This is why the picking up the phone does it. I'm sorry, a text message, you can never, ever get that excitement across the same. Never, ever. All right. You got to keep it obviously positive. Okay, so let's have a look at this. So what we call the first line is a little bit of chit chat. Now this is a loaded speech. It's full of fantastic stuff, right? The psychology is huge. The first line, massive. I'm just after a bit of a favor. Now look, guys, when you first start, you're going to go out to the people that know, like, and trust you. True? One of the things that I've always said in the past was, you're one of the first people that I thought of that's such a nice person. I'd like you to give me your feedback. Can you imagine someone saying that to you? All right. Do you think they'd be like grumpy and nasty with you if you said you were one of the very first people I thought of because you're such a nice person? All right. As you know, this is what Danielle says, I'm a teacher. And what I love about it is helping people. The word help evokes emotion because it's an emotive word, all right, to help people. A lot of people like to feel they're helping other people, okay? However, the problem is since I had the children, the long hours are not working for me. A lot of teachers tell me this. So I've found an opportunity. You could say, I found a way, I found a venture, I found something. It could be any of that that's going to enable me to spend more time with the family and go part-time covering the loss of income. So in other words, this opportunity is going to bring in that money so she can actually be with her family more, and it will, even though she's with the family more and she's only part-time, it doesn't matter. The income's going to cover that. As part of my training, I just need to show some friends and family what I'm doing. And then she says it's working with a company that guarantees to help people save money on their household bills. Now, I think that's quite open. It's in there. It works. I think if you try to be a little bit too secretive, people sort of think cloak and dagger and what are you up to? So I agree. It's good to be more open. Now, here's the clincher. I just need 20 minutes on a video call. I love that word, video call. Doesn't have to be Zoom, doesn't, because some of you I know do what we call WhatsApp videos. Yeah. So a video call with my mentor. I like the word coach. Mentor's good, but coach is a softer thing. Yeah. Because I think some people might think, oh God, if she's got a mentor and it's going to be me as well. Some people might feel they want to back out of that. I think coach is softer. It may even save you some money. But if not, that's okay, as I'd value your feedback and it'll really help me with my training. I just need 6 and you're one of the special 6. That's what you could say. Would you do that for me? Now, in the world of family and friends, we all know that there are some people that are more difficult than others, and we're hoping that there's some that are really helpful. Yeah. As it so happens, when I go right back to the beginning, it was more my friends and work colleagues and business associates that came in. My mum and dad took 2 years, bless them. Some of you might have that kind of thing. Okay. Now, I'm going to stop the share because that is huge. But what's not covered is the bit that matters now. This is absolutely paramount. Whether you're on a 20K stand, whether you're knocking the doors as a neighbour letter, no, whether you're out and about, no matter what, you've got to get the control. You cannot be wishy-washy. I promise you. If I said, Lorraine, are you free next week? She's probably going to go, oh no, I'm really busy. And I promise you, any family in the summer holidays, you ask them, are they free? They'll say no. True? And I've noticed that retired people seem to be busier than ever, not with the things that matter, mind you, but they manage to fill it with stuff that is possibly, who knows, because they got the time to do it. Yeah. Yeah. So what we've got to do is get control in a nice way. It's called passive aggressive. All right. You might want to write that down. Passive aggressive. All right. But we've got to keep it positive. And it's the alternative close. So when I'm in front of, excuse the expression, because I think I come in it now, elderly people. All right. I usually ask them, do you work during the day? Now, sometimes that brings about a bit of laughter because quite clearly they wouldn't. But you'd be amazed how many elderly people are really busy with all sorts of things. Yeah. So I'm always looking personally for appointments in the day. Okay. So they say, no, I'm not working. I say, oh, fantastic. So there's a chance that we could marry up and with my coach and that we could get this little 20-minute training in. All right. Now, this is what you've got to teach them to say. And then how it works, you as a partner, or if they're being coached, you already know your diary and you know your coach's diary because you've already confirmed that. Yeah. And now you're giving them, I say 3 dates. And the reason I go for 3 is people like to feel they've been given a choice. They're not hemmed in. 3 is better than 2. All right. So I would say, for example, so Sarah, look, I tell you when I've got a coach with me and I'm doing this, and she has said to me she's available during the day on Friday this week. She's not at all available tomorrow or Thursday, although she is available Thursday evening. Okay, so Thursday evening, anytime Friday evening. And she said she's even prepared to do something Saturday morning. Is any of that any good to you? Now, what this is meant to do is to get their brain to engage and think, oh, I need to look at my calendar or I need to look at my diary. Now, some people don't have those things, do they? Excuse me. It is iced water, by the way. Um, so you've got to actually help them. And now this is the way that you do it. You say to your new partner, you say to them, well, my coach is so busy coaching many people that I can't let her down. All right. Because if I do, I have just messed up so many other people that could have had her time. Now, what happens here with a new partner is you are deflecting the blame, the onus on the coach. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. What it's also doing is saying she can't be let down. Yeah. And for good measure, It's the thing to say, we need to have this sealed in so that it doesn't change. And the worst thing in the world is somebody just changing it on the day, because often it's too late and she wouldn't be able to help somebody else and fill in. What you're helping to do is what we call consolidate the appointment. Now, here's another one. You say, so they say, oh, well, maybe Friday. If they say maybe Friday, you say, well, do you mean maybe that it might fit round my coach? Or do you mean maybe it may be a maybe for you? Because what we've got to do is get this in, because I am actually the partner. I'm working really hard and I've got to get my training done. I want my 6 done so that I can be released from being sort of like in training mode and I can get out there and help people. So I'd really like this to be something that's in place. So you let them to have a look and they go, yeah, yeah, could do Friday morning. Is that any good? And then you say to them, is that 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, or 11 o'clock? Or 9:30, 10:30, or 11:30? Give them 3 again. Which one, without a shadow of a doubt, we're not going to let my coach down? You see, get the partner to keep saying, we're not going to let my coach down. There is so much more possibility that this is going to be in place. Now, they say, yeah, brilliant, 9 o'clock. And you say, great. Okay. Are you sure there's nothing like a hairdresser's appointment or a doctor's appointment in place? Now, this is really pushing it, but do you know what? People are unbelievable. You make appointments and they forget the most important things. Do you know why? Because they're thoroughly disorganized. They don't even run a diary, don't have a calendar. And there's lots of people out there like that. So you've really got to put it in place. Okay. Ask them, is there anything at all that could get in the way? Because want to get this done and dusted. Now, if they're anything of anything, they're going to say, so what's this all about? Wouldn't that be a normal question? Yeah. Now, this is where you've got to coach the partner, because they're itching to sell it on the phone, to do the whole damn thing. And you've got to teach them to say, well, the whole point of this happening, it's a bit like me learning to drive. I've got to be in the driving seat with my coach there, and I'm going to be taught live with a real human guinea pig, you, and this is the way that I'm going to learn the best. So I can't really tell you anything about it now because I don't know much. That's why I'm having training. So what you're doing is really emphasizing its training. Yeah. You may find, okay, that there will still be somebody that lets them down. And do you know why? Because I'm going to say this, humans are inherently selfish. And what's going on in their life is far, far more important than anything that we've got in mind. Okay. And that's why they've got to be upbeat. They've got to be jolly. They've got to be enthusiastic, because if they think this is going to be, oh my God, I'm involved in a boring training. Can you imagine? Like they'll be dreading it. So it's all got to be upbeat and exciting. Yeah. And you could say to your partner, emphasize, say to them, do you know what? You just might actually really love it, because my coach says it is incredible how many people, when they've seen this, are absolutely like, wow, how brilliant. And many people save hundreds and hundreds of pounds too. And it won't cost you a bean. And you'll be helping me. Right, guys, that is the way to do it. I'm sorry, There is no other way. That's the way that gets the best results. If you talk to any leader, anywhere, anyone that's got anywhere, they'll tell you it's pick up the phone. All right. That's why, 20Ks and neighbour letters. Do you know why they predominantly work? Because we're with people. And on that stand, like we're doing tomorrow, we're going to be actually building rapport there and then. I'm going to be turning what is called a cold prospect, completely cold, into somebody that can't wait for me to go and see them. And actually, that's quite a lot of work when you think about it. It's yeah. So what we're doing is something remarkable. But when it's a new partner, it's got to be more remarkable. That's why it's got to be the know, like, trust list, the family, the friends, perhaps really good colleagues. All right. Right. If you want to ask a question about what I've been on about here, because I've really focused on this. Yes, go on, Lindsay.
Two questions. First one is you're very keen on picking the phone. What about the younger people who don't communicate by phone, you just text all the time? What about them talking to their friends? Sometimes they say their friends only text, and if they phone, they'll think something's gone wrong.
Do you know, that's a great question, Lindsay. Actually, I really like that. I'm going to share this with you. Um, so in one of the teams, a young lady, exactly that, said she actually she confused me at first. She was new in the team. I didn't bring her in, sort of someone quite levels down. And when I spoke to her and she said, "Oh well, my friends and I, we chat away uh through Facebook." And I said, "What do you mean you chat away through Facebook?" She said, "Well, we chat." And I said, "No, that's not chat." I said, "That's not speaking." I said, "That's texting." And she was actually genuinely like surprised at what I was saying because I think they believe, like you say, Lindsay, that is chatting. To which I said to her, "So when do you ever pick up the phone and speak to each other if you're friends?" And she went, "Oh, I don't." I said, "What? You don't?" Now, this particular lady has found it really hard. And it took her 2 years to finally admit that we were right. It doesn't work through the texting at all. All right. What the social media stuff is about a bit of interest and then it's private message me, but then phone. And even if you don't have somebody's phone number, there is that little thing in it. You can phone somebody and speak to them. I learnt that many years ago. All right, which was absolutely brilliant. So, Lindsay, it doesn't matter what they say. You've got to say to them, "So would you tell the driving instructor how to learn to drive? Or would you follow the instructions? Or do you think you know a better way?" You've got to bring them back to the basics. Yeah, because they are just misguided. Can I ask all of you, because actually, Lindsay, you're amazing. You always come a long way. You come to the St. Leonard's, all the way from where you live. Carenza, I know Fran's there. Lorraine, you are. Sometimes you are, Paul, as well. How much better do you feel after you've been with people than just this? Go on, unmute.
Much better.
Hmm.
Carenza, do you feel like you've grown in growth in emotion and more gelled with other people? Growth in emotion and more gelled with other people?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if you can hear me okay because my internet's
Lorenzo,
really
who's
bad.
your internet provider?
Lorenzo, who's your internet provider?
What about you, Lorraine? Do you
Hear me
always
right.
do you always feel better after you've been to a buzz?
Yeah, definitely. It's more of a community and you see other people progressing, and it gives you some oomph to do a bit more yourself.
Yeah. And
Definitely.
also, do you sometimes pick up top tips from those people that you're sat with, never mind who's presenting?
Yeah, yeah. And you get to know other people, and then you see them at the big events, and you're just, developing a relationship with everybody.
There's the words I wanted to hear. We're about developing relationships. That's what talking does. I'm afraid texting doesn't. And there's masses of ambiguity in the whole texting thing. I'm afraid the number of times that people send me messages and I'm looking at it and thinking, now, what are they actually asking me? And you will know if you've done it to me, I pick up the phone and call you, don't I? Because I'm after proper, clear communication, which can only come through actually being able to talk backwards and forwards. And that's why this phone calling is the powerful thing. Okay. Now, it's fine to send the odd text, but it has to be followed through. So, guys, I hope that's helpful. Okay. Yeah. It's really honing in. It really matters to make those calls. And just a quick last top tip before we go, and I might have given this one away. Have you ever made an appointment and they don't answer? They don't show? Yeah, you get a few of them? Yeah,
Just a few.
yeah. Do you know what I do? It's it's another passive aggressive. It's a cheeky one, but it works. I do a voice note, right? Because if you're ringing them and they don't answer, they're never going to answer. Okay. But I do a voice note through WhatsApp because you can tell usually when they've opened it. Doesn't mean they've read it when they've opened it. And this is what I do. And I've actually just done it to a young girl who said to me, not Saturday just gone, the Saturday before, I've actually got a message. When can I get started? This was as a partner. When can I get started? And then I've not heard anything again. So I've done a voice note and it's their name. So I've got to be careful what I'm saying here. And I just said, I'm really concerned. I absolutely know you're not the kind of person that's rude and would just let somebody down. So now I'm really concerned and I think something awful has happened. I hope it's not with your family and I hope you're okay. Just put me out my misery, will you? And just let me know that you're all right. Do you know what? The number of times I've done that, oh my God, they get on the phone super fast. Because now you've translated it to something entirely different. All right. It's one way that you're going to hear back. Okay. Um, I'd say use it advisedly, but it does work. You will get a response because most people do not like to think that they've been really rude. As if they're decent people. Anyway, I don't know what we're going to do next week. Yeah, go on, Ros.
I'm just going to say, you're quite right. I've done that in the past whereby you ring them up and said, I'm really worried. I haven't, you haven't responded to my call. Are you okay? And they do ring you back
Yeah, they do.
because they don't, well, they realize that what they've made you think that you're ill or something.
Yeah, yeah,
Do you do
absolutely.
that to just partners or do you do that to customers as well?
Oh God, everybody. Everyone. Well, look, guys, we'll be back again next week. All right. Yeah, see you next week. And if you've got a subject, some of you've put it through, then put it through. And this has been recorded because I remembered to press record. Take care, all of you. Bye.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thanks.
Thanks, Lisa. Bye.